Opposition MPs are gleefully tearing into Starmer, and the public discourse has shifted from disappointment to pure rage.
I don't like the changes that we've made. I say the door is open and you can leave.
And now this mere act of signing a petition for a new UK election, a democratic right, has apparently become so threatening that we're now talking about arrests. Yes, arrests. Allegedly, Keir Starmer's government is considering dusting off respect orders from the Antisocial Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act 2014 to target anyone bold enough to express dissatisfaction.
A little bit unsure, to be honest, but I'd like to think I'll give people the voice that they've to express what they feel at the moment. So
is it because you picked it up from the men and women in your pub? Where did you get the idea from? What did you tap into, this level of dissatisfaction?
Not just people within the pub industry, just small businesses in general was extremely concerned about the way that the budget was rolled out, about the way it was lied to for them to get into power. And it was a bit of a collective, really, of opinions, thinking, do you know what? Why should we sit back and take?
Let's break this down. These legal tools were meant to deal with genuine nuisances. Think street brawls or vandalism, not people signing an online petition. But here we are, watching the government flirt with the idea of rebranding political dissent as antisocial behaviour. Subtle, isn't it? Now, while no one's been officially carted off for the crime of clicking sign, reports of anonymous warnings from local authorities are bubbling up on Twitter and Reddit.
Why should we sit back and be lied to? So let's see how we can change.
Unverified, yes, but the whispers are enough to set social media ablaze. Hashtags like Respect Order Madness is spreading faster than Starmer's approval rating is plummeting, and yet the government has stayed eerily silent. No clarifications, no reassurances, just a growing sense of unease that this might be more than just idle speculation. Because nothing says, we respect your rights, like an ominous silence paired with vague threats.
Asking the questions, there's a petition out there, 2 million people asking him to go. He's the one who doesn't know. He's the one who doesn't know how things work. It is not government that creates growth, Mr. Speaker. It is business. His employment secretary, I don't see her here, she wants more young people in work. But businesses say they are cutting jobs because of the Chancellor.
Of course, this isn't the UK's first rodeo with suppressing public dissent. Let's take a history lesson, shall we? In 1819, there was the Peterloo Massacre, where peaceful protesters asking for basic parliamentary reform were met with armed forces and left bleeding in the streets. Fast forward to 2009, and the G20 protests had their own moments of police overreach. Spot a pattern yet? When things get a little too loud, the response often leans toward repression, conveniently packaged as maintaining public order. It's a tale as old as time, except now, instead of bayonets, we've got legal loopholes. The ethics here are glaringly obvious.
I said on Monday that the dots of the government's policy don't join up. They're right, aren't they?
Yeah. Threatening people over a petition doesn't just bend democratic principles, it snaps them in half. We're talking about a government potentially weaponizing laws to silence ordinary citizens for daring to voice their opinions. And let's not forget Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights, which supposedly guarantees freedom of expression. How ironic, then, that those rights are now hanging by a thread in a country that loves to tout its democratic traditions. If this isn't a recipe for a chilling effect, what is? Why bother speaking up if the reward might be a knock on the door from the local authorities? Whether Starmer's government backs down or doubles down remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, this story has lit a fire under the public like few others, and if the goal was to silence dissent, well, congratulations. It's had the exact opposite effect.